Did our intro go yet? No, it did not.
No.
Well, our beautiful intro did not come up, which introduces the show each time we go on. Our friends at Capital Sports Network are typically involved with getting that set up, but nevertheless, here we go, folks. We are let him run here on our podcast here this evening as we approach the wonderful Breeders' Cup weekend coming up very soon. Myself and John Costin are here once again on our podcast to have a special show tonight where we're going to talk about the Breeders' Cup races coming up in a way. We're just going to touch base on some issues, some things happening in the races. Obviously, they're still getting ready to do the post positions and the draw on Monday. So, John, I want you to take a minute, please, and introduce our two special guests. And we're very grateful to have these two guys on, John.
All right. Thanks, Fred. Very special week here. Week leading up to the Breeders' Cup is always, the week before Christmas for basically the four of us in this room now. Absolutely, thrilled to have, two great friends of mine, great handicappers, great minds that will probably, put a little bit different spin on, the races. And that's what we want. We want different opinions, and you can take it all in and then, throw it up against the wall and see what sticks for you. So that's what we're trying to bring you is different views, different opinions, and two different guys, two great buddies. We're going to start in the lower left. Dave Skins, who I affectionately call him, Rutkin. We've been friends for 30-some years, playing softball, delivering ice on the ice truck, betting horses for 30 years together. And he seems to be my good luck charm. And every time we're together, especially in Saratoga, we usually break the bank when we're there. So, Skins, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Looking forward to, to discussing and hopefully putting our minds together and giving out some winners.
Absolutely.
All right. And our other guest lower right on my screen here, Gus Cookie Alonso, who, I've followed for many, many years before I actually personally knew him. Basically just communicating through social media. I invited him to join me in Las Vegas for the NHC to help me with my first NHC contest. He picked up, jumped on a plane, and came out and met me. And we hung out there for a week and, been texting pretty much every day since then. So, we got a group text between Skins, Gus, myself, and our feature handicapper for next Friday, Sammy from New Orleans. And it's just a great horse racing, guys busting chops kind of group. So Gus has his own, spotlight selections, which are available on weekends on Briz Network every single weekend. And he did crush it last weekend at Keeneland. I know that. Gave out a lot of winners, and his best bet won. So it was a good day for the spotlight followers. And you could always check him out on BrizNet every weekend. He's traveling, wherever the big races are. That's where Gus will show up with his picks. Gus, thank you for joining me, and welcome to the show.
Oh, my pleasure. It's a pleasure to be on with four guys with the knowledge and the experience that you guys have, and I'm looking forward to it today and also next week, especially next week when it's the real deal.
The real deal.
Yeah, when that week comes up, we will be having a special show on Thursday night and Friday as well. We'll talk about that as we go along here and get through the show today. So let's jump right into it, fellas, and let's start off with race on Friday. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, a 5-furlong race, currently with 22 entries in there. There's 6 Euros and one Japanese runner. So why don't we start off, John Costin, with you, and we'll go down after that to Gus and around to Dave, and we'll move on from there. So jump in there, John.
First off, before I get started with my pick here, my analysis here, I was looking through all the PPs and the trainers, and what struck me funny was how many dirt races do you think Brad Cox is going to win in the Breeders' Cup this Breeders' Cup?
I don't think he's got anybody entered.
He has no dirt starters in the Breeders' Cup, Brad Cox. He's got 2 horses on the grass.
Wow.
That is a mind-boggling stat, what I couldn't even believe. I had to go through each race by race to make sure I didn't miss him. But phenomenal that he's got no dirt starters. So that was a funny thing I thought I'd point out.
I'll take the over next year at Keeneland on that.
Oh yeah, he'll be full force there. Wide open race here. You got to just wait to see who gets in. A couple intriguing things that I'm going to look at. You got some speedballs with Schwarzenegger, Wesley Ward, and the other speedball. Who was it? Who am I trying to say here?
Lenny Lou.
Lenny Lou, yeah, 4 for 5, Lenny Lou. So they could really mix it up on the front end. I think they only know one way, but it's intriguing to see where they draw. That's an important draw to see who gets inside of who. The foreign horses, Aidan O'Brien, True Love, will take a lot of money. Never been beaten by a filly before, but going back against the boys here. So really post position draw and see who gets in from the also eligible list before we really dive in. Gus, what do you think about this race?
I mean, yeah, this is a tricky race. And of course, with Del Mar, it's a huge difference. Like Keeneland and other tracks run at 5.5, the turf sprint. This is 5 furlongs, and it's a huge difference. And usually speed is where you want to go. Gulfstream Park, we talked about earlier, is also a 5 furlong turf track. So I think Lenny Lou looks very strong here. Of course, Schwarzenegger coming with that big win, front-running win at Keeneland is also going to take a lot of money. I think post position is going to be pretty key to see where they line up, especially the speed ones, because I think they're going to be cooking on the front end for sure. It might set it up for one of these Euros coming that it might be coming off the pace a little bit as well. So it's kind of tricky, but I do see Schwarzenegger and Lenny Lou being a factor right from the get-go.
Gins, go ahead,
Dave, what do you
Gins.
like, brother?
Listen, I will always tend to go with speed in this race, and whoever's going to
No, really?
I'm going to go with the speed. I'm going to go with Lenny Lou. I mean, I see it now. I mean, it's depending on the post position, that's what it all comes down to. So, until we can really see, where they draw, who knows at this point.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everybody and their opinions, what they said. The one horse that interests me a little bit is Intricate Spirit. As Gus knows, or Gus will know by the end of the show, that I'm a very big fan of Brisnet. I like their speed rating. I like their EADs, their EPs, and this horse, she's an E.
I'm liking him more.
Oh no, I love it. She's an E. She's an E7, and if she gets a real draw, she's been getting better and better each race, depending on who the jockey that gets on her. Miguel Clement training excellent. So I think we're all going to take a good look when these post positions come out, but we'll see how that turns out. So that's awesome.
I'll tell you what,
the next race is yes.
No, we got 3 of us who basically were brisk. So we'll be looking for those numbers coming out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We got the one guy on here that
We're the majority.
no.
I see you guys.
That's what I'm waiting
All right,
for.
the next
Look
race-
at that.
And hey, one thing, Fred, I do like that you guys got the Brisnet red on too. I missed out on it. I should go ahead and switch my Brisnet shirt and put it on to make the trifecta
Yeah, you have another. Hopefully you'll have many more opportunities, Gus.
next week.
So, yeah, absolutely. The next race is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. It's a mile 16th on the dirt. A small field that I can say there's only 9 entered right now. So, John, if you want to kick it off again, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'll do it this race, and then we'll give somebody else a chance to go first next time.
Sure.
We'll pick up who goes first. But this race here, I was really looking for Tommy Joe to be that superstar, going into the Alcibiades, and regressed off those top 2 numbers and really got put up by a DQ, which I don't think was going to go by and win the race. So, that regression has me a little bit, I don't know if she hit her peak there. Explorer,
Okay.
definitely Bob Baffert's going to take a ton of money, stepped forward going 2 turns. And then the rest of the field, I don't know, really beneath them, who can take that step forward to, challenge those 2. And that's our goal the next couple of days, to really look at these developing 2-year-olds and see who potentially could take that step forward. And if you could find that one, that's where you're going to get your price.
Yeah, you know what? There is a ton of speed in this race. Go look at this. Everybody's going to go here. This is going to be a bit of a meltdown at the end. And, the horse I'm looking at for McCarthy, second-time starter for Eclipse, meaning, she won her debut at that long stretch at Los Al. and I think this horse
Mhm.
might be taken back by Rispoli, and she could come with a big run. Look at all the speed lined up around this race. If they all go, I think
Absolutely.
she's by Gun Runner out of a intermissive mare. I think she's going to come running at the end, and she's proven to it's only one start. And look at the money she took on debut. She was 30 cents on the dollar. So she's kind of interesting to me. I think she's going to be a little bit of a price too, maybe 5-6 to 1 range.
Cool.
That's it. I'll tell you what, you guys, you did your homework on these, but I didn't get to this race, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna have to pass on it.
All right. You're going to have plenty of time to get. You have
Yeah.
plenty of time to get to it, Skins.
I
That's
don't
all
know how
good.
I don't know how you're
How about the
starting.
next race, Skins?
What do we
Did
got?
you get to the next race, Skins? We'll let you start off. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, 1 mile on the turf. There's 16 current entries, 6 Euros in this field, and 1 Japanese entry. So, Dave, why don't you kick
No,
off the Breeders'
I'm
Cup
sorry.
Juvenile Fillies?
I didn't get through this one either. I
Well,
just
guess
didn't have
what?
time
We'll
to
move-
prepare.
We'll move on. Then. That's okay. Well, let me take a
I
shot
really
at it,
looked at
Dave,
the
and then
big
we'll go
races.
from there. Okay. Well, you just bide your time. Bide your time there, Skins. You're going to be
That's
okay.
it.
So I looked at this race, and once again, I love the number 1 Prime Power. It comes through very often. It'll help me when all the post positions are made to pass, when they come out on Monday to where they're going to be. Because number 1 Prime Power can make me decide if I'm between 2 or 3 horses, and I see a horse that's got a number 1 Prime Power, I'm going to jump all over that. And I like the Time to Dream. I know it's the Polish and Pletcher. John Jose Ortiz knows this horse very well, so that would be the horse I'm looking at. Anytime Mount and Alvarado get together, they're on Quiet Street. That's going to be always a little bit dangerous to keep an eye on that. So that's how I look at that race early on at this time. Gus, what do you say?
I'm going Euro here. I mean, I'm looking at the 3 Euros. They're on the PPs pretty much right next to each other. Pacific Mission, Precise, and Queen of Hawaii. 2 of them are
Sure.
You got Aidan O'Brien, and then his son has the other one, and then Andrew Balding. I think one of those horses is going to be a little bit too much for this American group. I haven't seen any U.S. 2-year-old turf runner really impressed me so far. I think these Euros are coming here, and they're usually better, and I think they might show it.
Worst thing in the world. I agree with Gus 100%. So they're the 3 that I got it started down. I'm going to do some more research on this Queen of Hawaii coming in from the Kara for O'Brien. Precise is the goods, and they said this one is better than Victoria Lake last year, who was the talk of the Breeders' Cup Friday, and she did not disappoint. She dismantled that field at Del Mar, with ease. This one they said is going to be better, so she could be probably one of the biggest favorites of the weekend. Will probably be odds on. So I'm going to try to look for somebody maybe, like a Queen of Hawaii or that Pacific Mission. But I would think, like Gus said, I didn't fall in love with any of our U.S. 2-year-old fillies going 2 turns. So it'll be, one of them, whether I, single in on Precise and believe in it or try to beat. That's the whole key, which favorite you want to smash and lean on, which one you want to try to beat. The worst thing in the world is when you go opposite. When you're trying to beat a favorite and you go 5 deep and the favorite romps, you're wasting all your bullets. So that's trying to guess which favorites I'm going to lean on. Precise is going to be pretty tough to beat. So it'll be between, those 2. And I know, like you said, Gus, Pacific Mission, I know Andrew Balding. He doesn't have any Breeders' Cup wins, but he's got 4 horses entered. And I think all 4 of them are very live. He could definitely have multiple winners this weekend. So keep an eye on anything Andrew Balding is sending out.
I agree.
Okay. All right.
The
How about
horses-
we'll go to race number 9? You have it, Dave?
What do you got? What's race is this? I'm sorry.
You have
Juvenile.
race 9, Dave, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile?
Dave is he's a Saturday guy.
Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
I
We're
can't.
getting there. We're getting there. So
don't know what race.
I'll
I'm sorry.
Number 9, Friday, Breeders' Cup Juvenile. The dirt for the
That's
boys.
okay.
2-year-old.
On Friday, I didn't look.
Yeah. He's a Saturday guy.
I'm the
Okay.
Saturday guy.
Okay. But I'm gonna wait. We're gonna wait till Saturday then. So this race obviously has the big Ted Nafi in it. Looks like going to be probably a tough horse to beat in this race. I would guess. I know there's a couple other horses. I kind of like this horse. Blackout Time is interesting to me. Broke his maiden by 9 lengths. Came second to Ted Nafi last out. And watching some of the replays on that horse against some of your handicappers and analysts will look at a gallop out and say he had a great gallop out. So I think he ran a nice race second to Ted Nafi. So that would be a horse to take a look at, in my opinion, when we get all the horses entered and we see who's in and who's out. Although there's only 9 in this race, so I think the all should be in there.
Yeah, kind of an interesting horse. I like Intrepido here. Go watch the video of both his wins. He's won right on the lead, and he also comes from behind the last time to win the Grade 1 American Pharoah at Santa Anita. He broke his maiden here.
Yeah.
There's a horse that's not entered this coming up weekend. It's for Baffert at Plutarch. He finished third to him and second to him. That horse is a serious horse when they stretch out in distance. I'm not sure if they're giving him a break or what, but that horse is coming at the end. Okay. And this Intrepido beat him twice, and he's probably going to be minimum third choice behind Brandt and Ted Nafi. So you might get maybe in that 5-1 range again with this horse. And if you go watch the video, this horse, it looks like the goods to me. He didn't have the best of trips in that American Pharoah. He actually, when they're going into the far turn, he kind of gets shuffled back a little bit, and he didn't have the cleanest trip down the stretch either. He proved to be the best that day. And I think this horse has a bright future.
Yep, I would agree with that. I think Fred, your horse,
Awesome.
Blackout Time, more pace in this race. He could get a better setup. And in Torpedo, Gus's horse there, I would think, I did watch that race, and it was, I think, 3 or 4 Bafferts, and this was the non-Baffert. It was, Mullins. And, every time Baffert's got 3 or 4 in a race, I'm cheering for anybody else but one of those 3 Bafferts. So I was cheering for Torpedo coming down the lane. And when he did straighten away and he did have trouble, he did pass them all. So interesting, going 2 turns. And if the race falls apart and Brandt, goes out there too quick, and Ted Nafi is going to be a big favorite. He's going to be close to even money, and he's going to be, he's proven he did the 2 turns. He's, gotten better and better each time. So he is a serious racehorse. Obviously the favorite for next year's Derby at this point, and we'll see how they come out of this race. But interesting to see, but 2 closers to pick up the pieces, Blackout and Torpedo for sure, going to be including.
Cool. All right, we got one last race for Friday, Dave. So hang in there. Saturday's coming, Dave. Okay.
That's it.
This race is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf 1 mile with 19 horses currently entered. 8 of them are Euros. So, Gus, why don't you start us off on this race, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf?
Yeah, as previously mentioned, Andrew Balding here is interesting to me with humidity. Horse has some experience, going to with some bulky fields, and I think this horse is looking at sitting on a right trip. I think he's bringing the right horses, like John said. I think he's going to make some noise this year. I like this horse coming in from Europe. Obviously, the other Europeans look tough as well. Again, the Woodbine winner, the summer winner, looked okay. I'm just which was Argos for Riley Mont. Had a nice win there, but I'm not sure how strong that field was this year. They're usually pretty strong in the Breeders' Cup the summer, and also the Talma for the females. But I think this year they're both kind of weak. So I'm going to lean heavy here. I'm going to probably spread on this race, but my top choice would probably be Humidity, depending on the post position.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Gus is looking at my notes here as well, but that's one that I'm going to deep dive in. And there we go, Andrew Balding. I saw everything that he put out there. I kind of sort of liked. So I know that Bo Echo over in Newmarket, is a serious horse. He did win at Ascot in June at the championship meet back in Ascot. So he has the proven class. Will not be the favorite. The Aidan O'Brien, Gastad will be the favorite.
Yeah.
He ran second in 3 straight Group 1s over there. He won the 2 Group 2s. But, when you can run second 3 straight times in Group 1 in Europe like that. But the 2-turn mile might be, the stretch too far for him. So I think there's a couple knocks at taking a short price on him that it's worth trying to beat. But he will be the favorite and proven commodity solid. But I think enough chink in the armor there that we can look elsewhere.
Yeah. And I looked at this race currently, and again, going to wait and see who ends up being entered, if some of them are cross-entered or they're preferred in a different race. But one of the beauties, Gus, that I like with Brisnet, they often provide a lot of information on the rail run. Like this race is the rail wins at 27% with an impact value of 2.92, which again, I look at it all the time. I measure that out. That's pretty high. So if I see a horse getting the rail that's got speed, I think I'm going to take a look at it. I'm waiting to see what Hey Nay Nay gets. He's 3 for 3. Last out, he was in a big field of 13. He cracked and he cleared. And he could be a price. I think he's certainly going to have some value, in my opinion, because of all the horses that can be in this race. But I think I'm going to take a look at him once they do the draw on Monday and see how that goes.
Yeah, and he's proven on the course where he has a win on this turf course. So that's a huge plus as well.
I think we'll take a look at that on when the draws come out. All right, Dave. Here we go, Dave.
All right, let's go. I got a few.
All right,
That's some
Saturdays, the first race, the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. It is a field of 12 with just one horse from Japan in there. Dave, you want to jump right in there, brother?
Well, that's the one where we're going to look for. I'm going to look for horses that sit right off the pace on that track, and the lineup for the race, is not really detailed. So, we got to see who gets in on it.
Okay.
It's too many.
Right. Well, we'll find that out on Monday. We'll definitely be able to tune things in better on Monday. Gus, what do you think about this Filly and Mare Sprint?
Yeah, interesting race. I mean, the horse to beat is Copian. Obviously, she's 4 for 4 at the distance. Yep. She tried going longer last time, and in the Grade 1, Clement Hirsch came up a little bit short. But I'll tell you what, she's the goods. I mean, she came off that long layoff for Mandela, and ever since then, she's been really taken off. She's very solid. She deserves to be the favorite, but I do like Splendora as well. For Baffert, this horse is 3 for 3 at Del Mar, looking to make it 3 in a row, and she's got the speed. She cuts back here. I think she's gonna be a problem on the front end. And if you're looking for another horse to bounce back, for Asmussen, this one will probably be a price out. Zeltos, last time out had a tough trip. She was less than 2 to 1 at Keeneland. Tough trip. I didn't think that Asmussen would send her out here. Just the reason that him sending her out here tells me with that rough trip, I think she's got a big shot, and you'll probably get over 10, 12 to 1 on her come next Saturday.
Yep, because of that race, you will get 10 to 1, and definitely has every shot in the world to rally up there for maybe a great underneath horse like second or third for sure. But Copian, it's her race to lose. This is her first preference. I don't think she's going to go face the boys in the 6 furlong, which is not her best distance. No. Against fillies and mares here. Going 7 furlongs, that's her game. And she could sit right off the pace. Looks like enough speed in here where a bunch of them could be going here on the front end. So I just think this is the spot for Copian. 6 to 5, even money probably, and just sit a perfect trip and show that she is the goods, running them down the lane. Tamara, Bob Baffert, or that's Mandela's horse that, coming off the long layoff, they gave her a tightener and they ran her back into Grade 3. And who knows? I mean, she could, turn out to be okay as well. But looks like Copian's race to lose and probably lean on Copian a lot.
There'd be a good exacta with Zeltos underneath.
Yep, I think so.
That would be very good, and we'll tighten those thoughts up as we move forward, going into next week with a lot more information to come. Let's go to the next race, the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, 5 furlongs, 18 currently entered with €5. Mr. Dave Ruckin, what do you got, brother?
Well, listen, I'm looking right now at the 2023 winner Nobles returning. So, that's the horse that I'm on right now. So I think the horse could come back strong in this year. And so we're looking for him to come back.
Yeah,
You're hoping he gets
he
in.
needs to draw in. He'll need to draw in because he's on the AE list right now.
Right.
AE number 3, so he's got to hope for
Yeah.
little defections.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, hopefully he gets in. I kind of like. I kind of looked at it. It's again. It's a 5 furlong sprint. This trip's going to mean everything. Post position is going to mean everything. I kind of like AG Bullet. Again, his workouts are looking really strong. I think that they've been pointing to this race to get this horse ready. I think if he gets a jump on the field, he could get out there. And I know there's a number of Euros or other horses in here that are going to be good, but that's a horse I'm going to look to see if that horse gets a good post position on the draw on Monday and keep my eye on that horse. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with that.
I think this race is going to be the post position draw. And I know these short races at Keeneland, you want to save all the ground, all the turf races. As a matter of fact, you definitely want to save ground on this turf course and, get the right trip. So whoever draws good, has enough speed to get in position. Motorius, who is amazing closer, so far back. I mean, so far last time, and almost got up. He did get put up with by a DQ. Another one that was like a little questionable, but he's got to really come motoring down the lane in a 5 furlong race at Del Mar. But he is the best on his game when he gets the trip. AG Bullet's another one that I think he might trip out. He could sit close enough. The foreign horse Arizona Blaze, and one other one that is he going to bounce back? Bring the band home. I mean, he just reeled off 2 amazing victories in a row at Saratoga, and then was the big favorite in the race in Woodbine. And, he sort of quit at the end. Coming off that race, I mean, if he would have extended that winning streak, he would be 7-5 in here. He would be like a Cogburn was last year with the, speed of the speed. So you got to watch him if he, gets on the front and leads. But does he love Saratoga, or does he just hate Woodbine? So if you look how much he loves Saratoga and how much he hates Woodbine, you got to make a determination there. And did something happen, or is he, just not, good as good as these? So post position will tell a lot.
Yeah, I want to add also, she's so spicy. This horse is very quick. For D'Angelo to take this filly to face the boys out there, 5 furlongs is right up her alley. She's going to be out there with AG Bullet, and they're going to. I don't know. I think if one of them can shake loose, they might take them all the way, but they can sizzle up front and really set it up for somebody. And I was impressed last time with Reef Runner winning the Eddie D at Santa Anita. I know it was 6.5 down the hill, and this is a lot shorter, but this horse was gobbling up ground late. And if they go too hot up front, I give Reef Runner a big shot to run them down. This horse is in excellent form right now.
All
right. Got some good info right there on the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Let's go to the next race, the Breeders' Cup Sprint. 6 furlongs on the dirt, 17 horses currently on the list to get in, and 2 Japanese horses. Dave, what do you got? I'll let you go again.
I don't have any info on the sprint. I'm sorry again. I'll be prepared on our next show for sure.
Yeah,
I know you will.
He thought we were going to trial run.
I thought we were just doing a trial run to see for the connections.
He wasn't ready to do handicapping.
That's okay. We're all good, and it's been a great trial run so far. So we're going to keep it going.
Okay.
So again, John, what do you got? What do you like in this race?
I think this Ben Tornado is the goods. I mean, he is amazing 6 furlong. Last year he proved it. He got away from everybody last year at 28-1, and he almost won except for Straight No Chaser caught him. And then he came back off the layoff with this in mind the whole time that they're going to get him here. Only one race, but that was at Churchill, and that visually was blow your doors off, visually impressive. So I've been pointing for this spot, so I think he's going to be ultra tough to beat. And a horse that now I'm definitely using, I've been chasing all year, Mullican, is not facing Bookham Dano in this spot. Bookham Dano basically took his heart out 3 times in a row. So, you get away from him, I think can work out a trip. And he's going to be forgotten. He's dirtied up form, and he might, go off double digits, 10, 12, 15. Straight No Chaser, who won it last year, he just didn't look the same coming back from Maidan and, the trip overseas there. and I don't know if he's the same horse. So I'm going to fade him at a lower price, but I'm hearing a lot of people might be fading him. So you might get 8-9-1 on the defending champ. So could be pretty good. And let's see how the draw goes. But I think it's Ben Tornado's race.
Yeah, I think in this race, the draw, the post position draw is going to be critical. I think because at 6 furlongs at Del Mar, post positions 1, 2, and 3 have not done very well either in the meet or along the way when they kept the stats on it. So I think whoever draws an outside post is going to get an edge. I have a horse that I definitely would use underneath, and we'll see where he gets drawn. Madhouse. He's the lone E per Brisnet, the only horse with the E rating. And again, I know I'm going to beat Brisnet to death before this podcast is over, but not just because he has an E, not just because he has an E, but he's been getting better and better in each race, looking to win 5 in a row. His fifth race in a row. Class might be a little issue, but I just don't think you should leave him out of any of your bets, especially if he's going to be a price of 15-1 or more. I think he probably will be with some of the big time horses that are in this race. So we'll keep an eye on that too. And I hope he gets a draw in a 6 or 7 hole. That would be awesome.
Yeah, Madhouse is good. I mean, he's got a shot. I mean, he's going to face Elders for the first time. That's a little bit of a concern. I like an interesting long shot here. And it's a cutback horse for David Jacobson, Banishing. This horse has been very consistent every time. And go look at his sprint races. They're not bad at all. His sprint races are pretty close. I mean, he was a neck from beating Mindframe. And I think highly of Mindframe. Yeah. I think he's one of the most talented horses in the country. And I think Banishing is going to be overlooked. And if they get too hot up front with these horses burning it up, the Japanese horse I heard is a very fast horse, American Stage. He's going to be cooking on the front end. As you mentioned, Madhouse, Ben Tornado is going to be up there as well. Even Dr. Ventman has a little bit of speed, but I think Banishing is the one for me. I'm going to play him probably first, second, and third in some tries. I really like him a lot as a price play. And I'm still up on the fence, like John said, with a straight no chaser. He's not coming into this race the same way. Maybe he needed that comeback race at the end of September, and he's got him. Blacker's got him cranked up for this. He's the defending champ, so you got to give him some respect just for that. But I like Banishing coming way off the pace here and making some noise late.
That is one of the funnest, neatest horses in the Breeders' Cup. Banishing has run every run. He'll run 2-3 times a month, and Jacobson will just find spots everywhere and run them. And like you said, Gus, his 6 furlong, he's solid. That's what he's tried going longer against the heavy hitters. So cutting back, come flying, make one run, definitely a definite board hitter at big numbers.
He's a threat.
Yep.
All right, so Vanishing horse to keep an eye on, and we'll keep looking at that as we move forward. The next race is the Breeders' Cup Distaff Filly and Mares at 1 1/8 mile. 14 horses entered, 2 from Japan and 1 from Argentina. So, John, you want to jump in on this one first, John?
Yeah, I think leading up to it, before I got the PPs and starting watching a video, I was, sort of against Seismic Beauty. But the more I look at it, I mean, definitely, she has really turned the corner the last 3 starts. I mean, as a 4-year-old, she definitely grew into, that now. And like speed of the speed, should control everything from out there. The neat ones that I like are the 3-year-olds. I mean, I don't know if the 3-year-olds can beat the older Seismic Beauty, but Claquette, Dry Powder, and Scottish
Nitrogen.
And Nitrogen. Those 4 are all fun, good horses that any day can, jump up on their best and challenge. If anybody pushes Seismic Beauty, who knows? They could come running at the end. And Darth Vader, one that you can't fall asleep on. So I got Seismic Beauty on the A line by itself, but then I got a bunch of B's underneath it that anything can happen underneath it. So we're curious to see how the draw goes.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but this is probably the weakest race of them all in the 2 days. I mean, it's kind of disappointing, Distaff. Not a lot of quality here, to tell you the truth, compared to a few years, the last few years. But like John said, the horse to beat is on, a Seismic Beauty. She's really come into her own. She keeps on improving. I mean, her speed figures keep on going in the right direction. She likes to get the lead. She looks like she's going to get the lead. And if she doesn't get any attention up front, I mean, she can probably coast, depending. I mean, the mile and an eighth, she had no problem doing that. 2 back in the Santa Margarita at Santa Anita. She dominated that field that was overmatched, and she looks very tough here. Some underneath horses that I'll be looking at, as John mentioned, Dwarf Raider, very interesting horse. I can't believe this horse has earned $1 million. I remember watching her early at Gulfstream Park, Florida bred, and she's really come. Remember she had that big upset at one time. What was it at?
In Gulfstream, we had her that day. She won by 6 points.
Dale, 46-1. She blew up the top board.
Wow.
She's good. Then you're coming in with the Spencer Jin, but I'm against this horse. This horse was almost 20-1 last time, barely lasted. I think Nitrogen didn't get the perfect trip. I as the 3-year-olds, I like Nitrogen the best. I think she's got the best chance to beat Seismic Beauty. But it's to me, I think you don't have the heavy hitters, especially with Torpedo Anna and a few others, retiring and not making it to this race.
Okay, so let's go on to the next race, which is the Breeders' Cup Turf. 1.5 miles on turf. I love these races. I just love to watch them. I love to see how they unfold, what jockeys decide to put their horse out on the lead and see what happens. There was 14 horses entered in this race. 8 of them are Euros. I think there's 1 Japanese horse. It's a big field. Again, looking at some Wisnet information, it just says that any post from post position 8 or above is going to have trouble in many of the races that they've run, and either in the meet or the week. They've looked at some things, and also, again, the E, the EP, the P, the presser, and the stalker positions. The pressers seem to have an edge here in winning these races at 1.5 miles. And El Cordoba's Charles Appleby's horse, well, of course, it's probably going to be, if not the favorite, near favorite, I would think. You guys can tell me what you think about that, especially Gus, in terms of what those P, E, and EP ratings mean. John, you got a kink in your neck or something?
No, El Cordoba's will not be near the favorites. Maybe 4th choice at best.
No, I'll tell you what. There was a debate on Twitter yesterday. Who's gonna be the favorite here between Rebels Romance and Mini Hawk? Rebels Romance won it last year. Mini Hawk is a superstar 3-year-old filly that O'Brien's bringing, and she just finished second in the Arc de Triomphe. And there's no reason he should bring her here unless she's the goods. And I think at the end, I'm not sure if she's going to be favored or not, but I'm telling you, she could be something special. For him to do that and have that kind of confidence, I think she's the goods.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-horse race, the 2 favorites. It's definitely a star-studded Breeders' Cup Turf for sure, top to bottom. What an intriguing race with a lot of star power, all over the place. This race starts one of the best 3-race sequences as a fan, as a horse player, that I've ever seen, with this race, the Classic being as competitive, and then the Breeders' Cup Mile. Those 3 races in a row, what a fun sequence. It could chalk out and be as easy as, Rebels Romance, Sovereignty, and Noble, whatever, So, but as a fan, you got
Notable speech.
If Noble, yes, correct, thank you. Rebels Romance, if he's not the favorite, I would probably lean that way. But absolutely not taking anything away from Mini Hawk. I mean, that was just so heartbreaking to lose the Arc, the way just missed. So those 2 for sure. El Cordova's. Another one, definitely going to look into more Amalok. Nick Luck even mentioned that this horse just keeps improving, and ran in the St. Ledger Stakes. And the St. Ledger Stakes years ago used to produce so many, winners of this race, like, champions. So that St. Ledger Stake, look up the history of that one. That's a good race to come out of, and that's Ameloc's first loss. So Ameloc's going to play a big part in my wagering strategies, but the two favorites, I think, have it.
Yeah, I'm going to throw in an interesting long shot that I like. This horse might be 30, 40 to 1 range for Chad Brown. He's bringing Hill Road. This horse is a hard knocking kind of hard trier. I don't think he's going to win. He's the clunker type, but he's going to keep on running. And that 1.5 miles is going to hit him right between the eyes. I think this horse is going to run at the end. And I think he's going to pick up some pieces at a big price, especially in tries and supers. I would not leave him off the ticket.
That's good stuff right there on a very interesting race. I agree with what John said. Yeah, that the sequence is tremendous. And again, as a horse racing fan, and just looking at those 3 races together, which the next race is the Breeders' Cup Classic, 1/4 mile and a quarter, 11 horses. Of course, the Big Japan horse entered in there. Dave, you got to have a little thought on this race. I know you may not have put too much work because you thought this was going to be a trial run here. Give us a little thought on
I'm sorry, fellas, that I wasn't prepared. But
it's all right.
yeah,
you got to have some thought on
you know all
this,
these horses.
This one, we got to know about. And like, I wasn't a big fan, but I'm a believer in Sierra Leone now. He's just a hard knocking horse, and I think somewhere along the line that horse will make an impression in this day. He'll be ready. To 2025 Whitney. He returns to Del Mar, and I think he's going to have a big shot. I'm not going far out. 3, 4, 5 to 1, but then I'm a big fan of Mindframe also. I think Mindframe I'd love to see there in the winner's circle also. Another one. It suffered a mishap in the last race, but we'll be looking for him to run.
Okay, I think I kind of like Mindframe myself too. I mean, again, this race clearly is going to have to run through Sovereignty, most likely, of course, but it's certainly going to create some interest in some of the other horses who might have a chance, but that's going to be something we're going to have to look at a little closer as we get closer to the day. Gus, what do you got going in this classic race? What's your thoughts?
Make that a trifecta. I also like Mindframe a ton. Depending on the post position is going to determine as well. But this race, there's not a lot of speed if you look at it. Fierceness, he won the Pacific Classic here recently, and he's got an edge. He's got an edge from a speed standpoint. I think Johnny V's going to set him out front, and unless someone goes, and I don't see too much speed, he could get a pretty comfortable trip. But I tell you what, there's some serious horsepower that's going to try to come run him down with Forever Young. Even Journalism now, he has a new jockey with Jose Ortiz. Obviously, yeah. Sierra Leone always brings it. I mean, never misses the board. Sovereignty has been a machine. Mont has been pointing to this race. So even the lightly raced horse for Baffert, Nevada Beach, that won the Goodwood last time, the Grade 1. Very interesting horse as well. I mean, this is a real fun of a race. I can see it going a lot of ways, but I do give Fierceness a little bit of an edge because of the pace. It's going to be interesting where he draws as well. But Mindframe might be, he might be ready for the race of his life, I think, and you're going to get a big price. I think and he's going to get around the 8 to 12 to 1 range no matter what on him. And he's the type of horse, I really don't know how, if we've seen his best yet. And if it comes to next Saturday, you're going to get paid.
Yep. Agree with Mindframe. He was so close to being undefeated. I agree with that. He is so close throughout the last race, which we don't know. That was going to be the telling point of where Mindframe stood. We don't know. So that's why you're going to get that 8, 9, 10 to 1 area because we just don't know.
That was a mile and a quarter.
His 2 losses, I mean, were right there. I mean, he could have won both of them so easily. I'm the biggest, Mindframe fan as a horse, but boy, this is the deepest waters. I mean, he's ran some big races against the big ones, but this one here, Sierra Leone, I think is just a mature 4-year-old that's going to, be close enough around that turn like he did last year with that move that Pratt made. And Sovereignty at the price, absolute super horse, facing 3-year-olds all year. Now testing out olders for the first time. I don't want to take 7-5. I mean, he's going to be such a hot bet horse. I'll use very defensively in multi races, but man, if it comes down, in a BC contest, he is not going to be, anywhere on my tickets trying to, make a big move. So Sierra Leone, and I think Fierceness does have that pace advantage, like Gus said. He should be, one of the lone speeds out there. The only horse that would shock you contrary thinking, be in it, but it is what it is. And other than that, anybody in this race would not blow your doors off and say, how the heck did he win the Breeders' Cup Classic? I can make a case for almost every one of them. Baeza, getting better and better. Journalism, I think we've seen Journalism, the best of them, and I don't know if he's, as good as these older ones. So he's another one I would probably fade Journalism.
And I'm not sure if he's as good at a mile and a quarter. I think he's a mile and an eighth type.
Yep.
And I think the reason that because at first they said that he was going to retire and go to stud, but I think they're going to keep him around maybe for the Pegasus because it's a mile and an eighth. And grab that check, and he'll be a huge favorite in that race if they point for that after. I'm not sure a mile and a quarter is his best. It's interesting to see, though. He does get, in my opinion, a huge upgrade with Jose Ortiz taking him out.
Yep.
Absolutely. Jose Ortiz is riding tremendously. Keeneland right now, just winning on everything he jumps on. So I would keep an eye on any horse Jose Ortiz gets on throughout the whole Friday and Saturday races because he's got some options in some of the races that I looked at with some of the horses that are entered. So I'm very interested to see which horses he jumps on. So, okay, we got 3 races left, fellas. We're going to go next to the Breeders' Cup.
The Breeders' Cup Classic. It's not over. It always ends with the Classic. There's more races?
John, you didn't see what they did this year for more excitement?
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's unbelievable. In the middle of the
The
card.
Breeders' Cup.
Unbelievable.
I know, right? That is. How do you guys feel about that? That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too weird as a betting standpoint to let everything come down to the filly and mare or whatever the last race is, and the Classic is 4 races prior.
Turf.
Yeah, it's also a disservice to those races because they're almost a second thought after, and it's you want to build up to the race. It's really it's a little different. I mean, I guess football had something to do with it. College football contracts,
everything to do with it.
Yeah,
everything.
Unfortunate.
I'm sure that was the big time reason. So going on, John. Yes, there is another race, the Breeders' Cup Turf Mile. There's 15 entrants, the one from Japan, one from Chile, and 5 from Europe once again. I looked at the number 1 Prime Power again, Notable Speech. I think you mentioned that, John, probably going to be the favorite when you were talking about if you want to go chalk, I think that would be the next chalk pick in this race. But again, it's going to depend on the post position, et cetera, what other horses get in as far as setting up some of the horses that are going to be closers. European's got a good contingent in there, so I'm going to wait a little bit more to get some information once the post positions come out and the draws come out on Monday.
I'll take a shot here. A horse I'm interested in is John Quill. Last time out, ran 4th at Keeneland in the Turf Mile. This horse didn't, he had a wide post that day. If he gets a better post, maybe he can save some ground. This horse was coming. I'm telling you, if you go look at that replay, this horse was coming with a serious run. Be second time or running in the U.S. And that's our man again here, John. Andrew Balding again.
Yep.
One more time. This horse might be a price. I'll go back on Notable Speech. He was the favorite last year and he came up short. I think it's the same scenario. He might go all favorite again. I think he comes up short again. I mean, he does come off the win at the Woodbine Mile, but I tell you what, that race was not tough at all. Look at the runners on that race that he faced that day. It was not a deep field for the Woodbine Mile, which it usually is. I think he's going to be over bat with Charlie Appleby here. I think we might get a price.
Yeah.
John Quill is the one for me. I tell you what, the California turf horse, I respect him. Johannes, this horse has been very consistent. The only time he didn't run when he went out to Saratoga this summer, didn't have a good trip, ranked, and it was a disaster race for him, but he did bounce back, to win the City of Hope last time at a mile. This horse is a serious horse out in California. I'm going to take a look at him as well. And I'm against Notable Speech. I might leave him off everything.
Wow.
Visually,
Okay.
yeah, visually
John, what do
that
you
race
think?
notable speech that looked visually awesome. But like Gus said, he beat a bunch of tomato cans in there.
That was not a good race.
That was a horrible Woodbine mile, and he should have did what he did. So that was the prep for this, and he did everything he had to do. So you can't ask him to do anything more than that. But we'll see how he goes at that. Joe Quill, there's our guy again. Use him in there. Formidable man. I don't think he's near this quality, this level, but somebody that's 6 for 6 at Del Mar.
Yeah, he's solid out there.
6 for 8, leg. Yep.
I'm surprised you're not going with the New York bred.
Oh, that's my pick. I'm coming back to that now. Formidable. I was going to say notable speech, but it's the New York bred. It's rhetorical. How the heck do you go from state bred, maiden special weights, up the non-winners of one other end, state bred stake race, to winning an open grade 1 at Keeneland? What the heck is that about? I mean, that is unbelievable. So, I mean, he's got the right tactical too. He could be quick enough in that race. Everybody folded up that was near the lead. He was near the lead, and he made his trip right there. But everybody else in that race, when they came running from behind, he was the one that stayed and went on with it. So tactically, I think he's set up for it again, and just keeps getting better and better every single time his buyer went up 6 races in a row. So that is something pretty amazing.
No, he's pretty interesting, and also program trading for Chad Brown. It's another horse. I'm not sure if he can win. Very consistent horse, runs every time. Just the fact that he's bringing him out here, I think this horse has a shot maybe to hit the board as well at a little bit of a price. You might get that 10-1 range, and that's rare for a Chad Brown horse. The mile usually is one of my favorite. After the Classic, the mile, the mile is probably my favorite race.
David?
All right. The next race is the Dirt
Anything, David?
Mile, 13 entrants, 1 from Uruguay. What we got?
We got the Dirt Mile?
Dave, got anything?
What do we got?
Dirt Mile, the second to last race today.
Well,
He likes Chancellor McPatrick.
the Dirt Mile,
Already got that down?
go oriented.
Yes.
Go oriented. Dr. Veckman, those are 2 that I'm interested at this point. Like you said, need to see post positions in these races, but they're 2 strong entries that I like in this race.
I'll tell you what, you make a good point. Gore oriented for Baffert. Interesting that he brings him into this race. That horse is lightly raced, 3-year-old, obviously facing some heavyweights here, but that's another one that's a confidence booster, I think. And that horse could be sitting on a big one. And I think you might get 15, 20 to 1 on that horse when it's all said and done. Because this race, like John said earlier, it's completely loaded. It's a big time race. A lot of people cutting back. You got the defending champ with Full Serrano. You got the Kentucky Derby winner of last year, Mystic Dan Inner. And then you got the very talented Nysos, which you guys agree probably be a favorite when it's all said and done.
Big
for
favorite.
Baffert.
Big favorite.
He's going to be the big favorite.
Even money.
He's missed some training, and they were thinking maybe Classic with him, but they opted for this. This is a big time race. You got White Barrio, also a Breeders' Cup Classic winner a couple years ago, entering this race. He just worked out at Gulfstream Park. They say he looks, he's been a little down this year. I think he's getting a little long in the tooth, but he's a horse that on his best day can definitely do it. Full Serrano didn't run a bad race last time to lose to Nevada Beach. Races, you can go a lot of ways. Citizen Bull is going to take a lot of money. He's got a big shot at 3 for 4 at Del Mar. Chancellor McPatrick is another horse. I know John was big on him as a 2-year-old and coming up. The mile distance should sit him perfect. If he gets a good post, and you're going to get a good price on him as well. So this is a race that I think Nysos is probably the one to beat, but I think, in my opinion, I'll probably use quite a few in this race.
Yeah, if it's not Nysos, it could be a number of them that you just mentioned. So Nysos, he's got the talent. He just can't make it to the gate. I mean, something always comes up. If he makes it to the gate, he's going to be even money, and he's going to take even money on Nysos and a trainer, Bob Baffert, who has never won the Dirt Mile and burned more money in the Dirt Mile with favorites than anybody.
Yep.
So that's the question you got to decide there. Goal oriented. I know when he was here for the Pensy Derby, the guys in our barn would get on him every morning, and my trainer Tyler, was watching him work out and train. He wasn't, too impressed with goal oriented, and we were fading him in the Pennsylvania Derby. We weren't, really using him. He ran a lot better than we thought, but it wasn't like I don't know if he can, step up as a 3-year-old in this spot here.
What do you think of Mystic Dan?
Oh God, I'm not a Mystic Dan fan, but he beat me last time. I was trying to beat him, and he was 3-2 last time, and he zoomed up the rail. He always makes his great rail trips, and he somehow he gets to that rail, and he always zooms up there when everybody else is tiring. So I mean, he can do the same thing again, probably.
And Brian Hernandez, he won't be back, right? He was. I don't think
No, he
he'll
was
be
on
back.
some
He was
horses.
on the
No,
track.
he was
He'll
riding.
be
last
Yeah, he
back?
week.
was on some horses. Yeah.
He rode last week. Yeah,
Okay.
amazing with the broken ribs and all that. He's riding.
Yeah. I saw the picture of him in the
no.
hospital. I said it
Yeah.
didn't look good, but
Didn't look good.
these guys
So-
are tough, man.
Amazing.
They're
Do you
amazing.
believe
Oh, yeah.
nice hosts take even money, or do you shop around? So that's another one of those tough questions that you lean on them or you
Yeah.
go
I'm
deep.
gonna shop.
I think so.
All right. So we got the last race of the day coming up. The Philly Mares Turf, 1 mile and 3/8 with 18 possible entries, one from Chile, one from Japan, and 9 euros in this race. So I haven't looked at this race too deep, but not because I thought this was going to be a trial run. I just didn't really look into it too deep. And the only horse I kind of like is I like the horse Stellify. I think it's got a chance to get in front in this race and possibly, I know sometimes people don't like speed holding up in long races, but sometimes if nobody else goes with that horse, he might have a chance. But again, we'll just wait for the post position draws and see what happens. But the Euro horses are going to be tough. I mean, there's 9 in the possible field out of 18. That's half the field. So there's probably going to be 6 or 7 of them in there. I don't have the exact number in terms of where they are on the AE list or anything like that. But I think that's another interesting race. I love these long marathon type turf races.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, she feels pretty. She does nothing wrong. I mean, she'll probably be the favorite. I mean, she went out at the end of last year to
Absolutely.
California. She won the Grade 1 American Oaks. I mean, she won the EP Taylor against the boys last time by a head against a decent field. She was a big favorite. Obviously, she's going to be the betting choice at the end, I would think. Right now, depending on post position and everything, I like Cinderella's Dream. She was a favorite last year in this race. Look at the 2 horses that she finished second to Moria, which is a very classy horse. And the 3rd place finish was Didia, and I respect Didia. Didia was a big-time turf runner for Correas. And I think Cinderella's turn. She's battled against Group 1 company pretty much the whole year this year. Appleby brings her back. I think he brings her back on purpose for a reason. She'll probably be second choice, maybe at 3-1 range. I think she's going to be ready to run, and she's going to give. People are going to look at she's so pretty PPs, and there's nothing wrong with them, but this is a really tough race. I consider Cinderella's Dream to have a really big shot for the slight upset.
This is a race where I think this, we know that Chad Brown's going to win one somewhere. And I think this is the one on a long shot here. I think we got Village Voice. He may bomb it here because he's our only chance against the Euros. So, this is the one I think this is the one that he's going to end the night with. And it's going to be night.
It's going to be real late on the East Coast, that's for sure.
That's it.
This is the last race of the day. It's the last race of the BCBC. You like to have somewhat of an opinion in this race. If you're going to try to, make a move or win the contest, I don't have a strong opinion here. I don't see how I'm going to. The only opinion I do have is She Feels Pretty, the favorite, will not be on any of my tickets. I think last time she went 1.25 miles, that's the farthest that horse wants to go. She's unbelievable at 1 1/8 mile and 3/16. After that mile, this distance here, 1 3/8. I mean, you're asking her to go, further. So I'm definitely fading She Feels Pretty in the biggest way. But I don't have anybody I love. Cinderella's Dream, I'll definitely use that one. But for some reason, Appleby, was running that one in shorter races all year,
Yeah.
cutting back from that mile and a half, ran her in all these mile races. So I don't know what that makes you say that, is he thinking that, she really don't want to go this far, but against this field and, most, and then let's see, the other one that almost beat Diamond Rain, almost beat She Feels Pretty, got in all kind of trouble and come flying and thought she was going to get there in the last jump and just missed. So a better trip, a little further. Diamond Rain, Appleby could be sitting on a big one. I'm probably going to key on Diamond Rain and Cinderella's Dream mostly.
Yep. And Skins, he's got that was a nice sneaky pick there with that Village Voice. One time for Brown, made a nice late move, and this horse wants all the distance. She ran that distance last time, so she knows she's got the kick to get there, and she'll probably be overlooked a little bit. So you're gonna get the price you want.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, I think we covered a lot of the points that we wanted to cover here in this little Breeders' Cup special edition, just touching base on some of these horses. We got John and I is going to have a little happy hour show tomorrow where we'll just cover a couple Breeders' Cup betting strategies, and we're going to do a deep dive on that Kentucky Derby prep race on Sunday, the Street Sense. It's a small field of 7, but I think it's a very interesting race, and it is at Churchill Downs, and I think that means something in terms of a horse that might show an affinity for that track. And then again, we're going to get together with some of the guys again on Thursday. John Costin and Gus and myself again with Ed DeRosa are going to get together. And then on Friday, we're going to have myself and John Costin, Sammy Toops, and Dave Skip Rutkin. We'll be ready on that day.
A well-prepared Dave Rutkin. Well prepared.
Well prepared. There's nothing like a well-prepared Dave Rutkin. Listen, I just want to say I want to thank Gus for joining on. Gus, it was a pleasure talking with you. Dave, nice seeing you again as always. And
thanks,
I look
guys.
forward to working and talking with you guys again. And we'll see you guys again soon. And dive in, dig in, do your thing. And one last thing, there's a couple interesting bets. Real quick, there's an all-turf pick 4 on Saturday. That's kind of cool. And a all-turf, $3 all-turf pick 3. John and I always talk about these pick 3, turf pick 3s they have at Keeneland, and I think Gulfstream Park has them too, and some other tracks have them. I love those races. So maybe when we talk next week on Friday, we can talk a little bit, or Thursday, we can talk a little bit about some of those as well, guys. So
those are one of
on
some
that
of my
note,
favorites. Those $3
once
pick
again, I
threes.
just want to say thank you. This was very, very good. I enjoyed talking to everybody.
Thank you, Fred.
Thanks,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
All right, Fred.
So,
We'll see you.
John, Gus, Dave, thank you very much. And as John and I always say at the end of our show, just remember to let him run, okay? Let him run.
Let it run.